main road 137, 138, which heads down to South Hill. People already cutting hay. Today's date is April 16th, the day after tax day. And we look like we're ready to go over here. Probably start. He plowed this last weekend, I believe. Here on the way to somewhere. So he should be ready to start planting here soon. So for reference, the normal average last day of frost was yesterday. So theoretically we should not be getting any more frost here in Southside Virginia. And unfortunately we haven't gotten any rain in a while, any real measurable rain. I think we got 5/100 of an inch last week, which isn't helping. This is not ready to go yet either. This is got cover crop on this grass. Left here used to be a cow pasture, but somebody's putting houses on it and such. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, we're gonna do an equipment check here real quick. So we're gonna head down here towards Dundas. There's a bit more agriculture going on over here than on Afton Grove, which is basically right behind us. So we're basically gonna try the other side of 137, 138, whatever you want to call it. Actually, it splits there. 137 here and 138 goes down to South Hill. So we got a few houses here. Today is March 16th, the day after tax day and the day after the last average frost here in Southside Virginia. Beautiful day, sunny and warm. I think we're at about 90, 91. We haven't had any measurable rain in about a week, and that was a small amount of about 5/100 of an inch. So that's not helping anybody right now. These guys are starting to plant, getting ready to plant. They're gonna want rain, lots of it. Get the plants nice and hardy before August, when the normal time for no rain is then, which is when the corn needs to be used. That's right before harvest time. Get all those kernels. More cover crop, just grass, hay, whatever you want to call it. So I hope this one comes over better. Let's see how it goes. And this is my right turn here. They haven't started here yet either. Rumbly Road, other side. So all this will be platted over. I think it was beans last year, so it'll probably be corn this year. We'll find out. If y'all enjoy this stuff, I'll keep doing it. Alternate sides of the road every week. Next week we'll go back to Afton Grove Road and see how they're doing over there. This one's probably going to end up being just a little bit longer. A few more farms out here to see. So haven't even broken this yet. This is interesting, but out there. I'm guessing they're going to have a wedding this weekend. This is Parrish Farm. It's turned into more of an event place than a farm. And fall they do pumpkin patch. They tried Christmas trees for a while there. That didn't go over it, I guess, because they stopped going up. Both sides of the road here are undercover, cover crops. Doesn't even look like what wheat, it looks like grass, fescue maybe. And then, let's see, should I turn here? I'm going to turn here, go down to Keep Road. On the right used to be a farm. They've torn it all down. And they had cattle for a while. They took down their fences, and I think they're just letting it be fallow for a while. Who knows? They're very into Christmas. If you look at the house on the right here, Sleepy Hollow Farms. That entire front porch is covered in Christmas decorations. So they got broken over here, broken ground over here. On the left is all cattle pasture. I think this is one of the better looking churches here in South Hill, probably the best in my opinion. And still got some cover over here. Don't know if they're going to spray it, plow it, what. Look closely on the right side, you'll see there's a bit of a dam there for irrigation. And another one on the left for irrigation. This also is in a almost, the left looks like it's almost ready to go. It's all cleaned up. On the right, it's cut down. I don't know if it's ready to go yet. So nobody been doing any plowing here lately. And you know what? The cost of oil and diesel is over $5 a gallon here. I'm gonna make the left onto Cedar Creek off a gig. Giggity, giggity, giggity. Used to be a burnt up tractor right down here. Shortly after we moved here, about 10 years ago, the guy's tractor caught fire right about here. And it's all been hauled off and cleaned up. Wouldn't even been able to tell now. So I guess this is a good baseline for us, since nothing's been planted. I'm sure it'll look different in 2 weeks. But there again, if there's no rain, it's gonna be tough to think about pulling out that tractor, spending all that money money on seed and all that money on diesel and nothing to water it. It's going to be a tough call. There again, it's very beautiful out here. Since we ain't got any crops in yet, we can just sit here and look at the yellow trees. Beautiful green. Somebody's trying something there. Trying to do some no-till stuff or something like that. Maybe we have it. I don't think we got any Amish here yet. And this is Sleigh Ride Hill. You go back in the day, they used to ride their sleighs down there in the wintertime. Now it's a road. I don't think people do it much there anymore. Okay, so there's some old tobacco barns, drying barns and such. There's a couple more in there that you can't see because of the growth of the plants and stuff. But make a little stop here. And well, we're rolling again. I'm guessing that this is working. The only indication that the camera gives me is a beep, and I can't hear that inside the truck. I can hear the microphone go beep. So on the left here we have some cut over. Well, it's not cut over, it's replanted. God, I think that goes back about 8 years or so that was cut. No, it hasn't been 10. But those trees are doing well, very well. Guessing I should have kept track when trees were cut around here back in the day before I even decided to do this. Then I'd have that information. So we have more of what will be under cultivation here in a short time. If you look straight ahead, there's a turkey running across the road. Turkeys cross the road for the same reason chickens did, to get to the other side. Where you going, turkey? Yeah, she hasn't decided what to do yet. Oh, there she goes. She's going into the woods now. Lots of turkeys out here. Old house. It's pretty much not a house anymore. That's another interesting thing. Gravel roads are maintained by the state, Virginia Department of Transportation. They come down, they grade them every couple of years to keep them smooth and good to go. Pretty much passable all the time. They get a little slippery in the rain, but they're not bad. So I'm gonna change the camera here and reset it. On to Jonesboro Rd. I'm gonna duck in here real quick and take a look and make sure the camera's running. Cedar Creek Baptist Church off to the left here. I'm not sure that they're preaching here anymore. I think they stopped with the pandemic and had never started back up. Three slams to close the door. Sometimes this car just does not want to override the pressure from the seals and all that kind of stuff. And the door only partially closes. And then you start slamming it hard to get it to close, and then it just... It's like, what the hell are you trying to do? Tear the door off? So all these will be crops here. Like I said, this is a more farm side of the road here. Remember, I'll tell you a story here. One time we went by my friend's house and he had just cut all his pines. And if you look over here, you can see all these are planted in a row. These are probably going to be harvested in the next couple of years. Guy takes good care of this plant, these trees. But we went by my friend's house and my granddaughter was all upset and said she wasn't going to speak to him anymore because he cut down all those trees. And then I explained to her that here trees are a crop, and after they grow for 30 years or so, depending on the tree type and such, they get cut down. They get turned into wood products. And the only way I could convince her of that was taking her by that guy's trees and show her how they're all planted in a line, just like corn, just like tobacco, just like beans. It's a pretty drive through here. We're gonna go and see that. That was cut. And we're gonna head on out of here. Probably do a quick turn through. Oh, we'll go through downtown Dundas. Population 68. It's not a town. It's basically it was a town. Suzuki dealer. Little Suzuki Geos, or I forget whatever the car Suzuki sold over here, but yeah, it was a legit Suzuki dealership, and they had a few other things, but people got old, didn't want to do that anymore. The area started shrinking, still shrinking. Yeah, they cut their hay down. They're gonna probably plow this crop there. This is prepping up here. Probably gonna be corn. Yeah, corn. There. Plenty on that. Still some undercover. Another cutting. Prep area over there. Looking on the left here, we see it. The farm equipment. There you go. This used to be a trucking company, and they stopped trucking and got back into full-time farming. Yep, all their stuff's there ready to go. So we're going to make a turn up here. Now, if you look straight ahead, that crop's prepped for tobacco. That field's prepped for tobacco. If you look to the right a little bit, you'll see a couple dozen rows here, and then a big wide row. It's also called a skip row. That's so they can run the sprayers and stuff through there and do what they need to do. Let's see if it's recording again. Passing by Perseverance Christian Church again. Used to go there until things got weird. And I've heard that they've gotten weirder. So it's just one of those things. Here, it doesn't have a lot of water in it, so that rarely gets used. If you see them pumping out of that thing, you know they're desperate for water. So we're going to close off this big loop here and continue down here. Be done with Big Road here and make a right on the Potts. It's Potts Springs Road. It's named after people that had one of the early farms on here, the Potts family. There's still part of the Potts family living here. I know that guy. One of the best things they did was get rid of the convenience station. The county has basically local dump sites that they have just big dumpsters, and people that don't live in towns with trash service, they just come over and chuck their stuff in there. Okay. And be done with it. And it was being regularly abused. It used to be right here. People coming from elsewhere and dumping things they shouldn't dump them. So these trees on the left are the trees in question. And those trees I know are about 7 years old, maybe 6. And they're doing really good too. And so I should bring my granddaughter over here and show her how it's coming back. And I doubt she even cares anymore. Yeah. On the right is the farm. They do really, really good strawberries. Not as good as I had the strawberry patch that was across from my house when I was a little kid, but they're still pretty damn good. And that tone you heard was my wife telling me that dinner for me. So, welcome to downtown Dundas. On the left here, the grassy corner over there is where the market used to be. On the right is the post office. And the car dealership used to be one of these two buildings, and I want to think it's this gray one over here. So, I don't know. And over here we got Dundas Baptist Church. Look on the right, you can see all these trees were planted. They're all in a nice line. Not all trees are planted like this in nice straight lines, like so you can work in between them and harvest or clean them out. If you clean out all that brush underneath, they grow faster, they get bigger faster. And that's a common thing. Some people just don't care. Not going to make the investment. You know, if you're in your 60s and you're planting trees, they're not for you. Your kids are going to cut them, and they're going to get the money, and your grandkids are going to get the money. So I think we've looped here enough. As a